Peace and blessings. Namaste to all the light warriors / workers all over the world. It is I, Sophie, and today you're going to have to bear with me. You're going to have to bear with me because I'm bringing forth a very hard teaching today. Okay? But if you grasp this, not only will it help you shift into your reality, okay, but you'll have a good understanding of the timeline that we're in, how it's playing out, how certain numbers are aligned, and you'll be in a better position if you heed the words that I am going to speak to you today, okay? They are coming from the realm of the Ein Sof and also the ineffable. And they correspond to the 3 levels of consciousness here that is playing a big role right now in our Earth's reality, in its ascension process. Okay? So, here we go. Right now, if you've been paying attention to the news and the things that are going on in the world, which we have to tap into every now and then, just to see where we are in this timeline. And we've heard it said a million times, if not more. As a matter of fact, if I had a nickel for every single time I heard that we were living in the end times and this was it, I'd probably be a gazillionaire by now. Okay? But the truth of the matter is, we are living in the last days this time. This is what the calendar pointed to. Our Mayan 2012 calendar actually is 2020. Okay, but because the Gregorian calendar is different, we didn't get the memo. So we were preparing in 2012 for what was going to happen in 2020. So we're definitely at the final stretch right now. Now, there's 2 groups of people. Actually, there's 3 groups of people that is going to be affected by this. And these are they who are tapped into one of these 3 dimensions, okay, if not all of them. And according to their perspective, their reality is going to play out exactly where they put their mental frequency at. So I'm going to dumb this down a little bit because right now all you're hearing is words, 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 words. So let me explain it to you better. 2 realities are currently being played out, okay? Those of us who chose to live in the frequency of love or the energy of love and the vibration of love, we are living a completely different reality than those who did with fear. And I know it's hard to explain, but those who have chosen the highest law to govern their consciousness are not experiencing the same reality as those who have tapped into the matrix system and has trusted the government and the systems of this world. So what is happening is we are kind of being protected. We're encased in our own little bubble. We're watching what's going on in the news. We're watching what's going on in the world, but it's not affecting your everyday life or your everyday experience. So you're out there with the sun, the birds, the breathing the air, you know, you're seeing the horrific nature of what's happening, but it's not happening and it's not affecting you directly. So it's almost as if you're sitting from an observatory point of view and watching the world as if it's apart from you. Okay, these are those who are operating in the 9 energy, the source energy, because in the realm of 9, in the realm of energy, in the realm of source is all-encompassing love. So we want to associate 9 with, let's say, the God consciousness. Okay, the creator consciousness that oversees the heavens and the earth, okay? So that's the energy that we want to vibe with. We want to be in 9, okay? That's the all-encompassing love and has the biggest plans for the freedom of humanity. And those of us who have aligned ourselves in this 9 energy are doing the exact same thing here in the world of matter. We're kind of partnering with source, okay? Because we have source in us, right? So we are they who are here to awaken mankind, shape some of this some of this mess, from the earth, tear down the matrix systems, build in new systems that actually help everybody and not just an elect few. Okay? So we have a job to do. This first fruit wave, what I call the first fruit wave, they are not going to experience a lot of the hardships that is coming to this earth. And yes, it is coming. It's coming very rapidly. Okay? Whether or not you experience it is all up to your own free will. Okay? You either are going to align yourself with that highest law and bask in your protection, or you're going to have to deal with the second wave. What is the second wave? This is 6. This is the frequency of 6, which is mental. Okay? And this is the Ein Sof. Well, not say the Ein Sof. The ineffable is the first logos. Okay? So the second logos is the judge. And this is in the frequency of 6, because 6 controls the mental realm. Okay? 6 also controls the fate of the world, based off of the actions of the few or the many. See, all of us here are trying to shape a collective consciousness to align itself with source and light and freedom and love. And based on our actions here, our mental aptitude, okay, we actually can change the course of times and seasons through the fates which exist in the realm of 6. It's the mental realm. So when you hear the words, as a man thinketh, so is he, understand that's talking about you. Okay? Your ability to mentally manipulate and alter events based on how you think. Does that sound far-fetched? Yes, it is to the novice. But for those of us who have been doing this for a while, we just put our concentration to what we would like to see get done, not the concentration on what's actually happening. We are aware of what's happening, but it's not our sole focus. See, enough of us can shift the consciousness and change the fates. The power is in you. It's in me. It's in all of us, right? And all we have to do is create. Start creating. Start creating. So 6 brings about the judgment. Okay? The judgment. The judgment of humanity and other beings as well, especially those who partnered with enslaving humanity and the control. So we have a job to do. They're fighting us against it. Doesn't matter. We already know who wins, right? Anyway, all right, so that's the realm of 6. That's the mental realm. Get your mind together. Get your mind together. Work towards being the change that you want to see. Do it according to the highest law, which is love. And collectively, we change our reality. Now, that leaves me to 3. 3 is vibration. 3 resides on the world of matter. That's our physical bodies. That's the things that we touch. That's the things that we experience. And with 3 comes the warrior. The warrior is the vibration of those who have come here to defend and protect the collective consciousness that wants to be in freedom that resides in the realm of 6. Okay? You have 9, you have 6, and you have 3. You have the all-encompassing love, God of love. You have the judgment seat or the fates in 6. And you got the vibration and the warrior in 3. And all of these act as one. A little bit confusing, I know. But when you get it, you're really going to get it. All right? So what's going to happen now? And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen now. And it hurts me to tell you what's happened now, but I know what I know. And so I'm commissioned to share what I know. The first fruit is going to be kept from all of those trials. You're going to be in your protective bubble until it's time to go ahead and shift. And everything that goes on in the world that is horrific or horrendous or just downright vile, okay, you'll be able to see it, but you won't personally experience it. All right? So congratulations. You've gotten your mind, body, and soul in equilibrium and in agreement, and you're tuned in to source energy, and now you're divinely protected. All right? Because you know who you are, and you have awakened to that, and you're standing in your truth and your authenticity, and therefore you're viewed as perfect. Oh, wow. I said perfect. All right, so let me explain perfection. We know that every soul on this planet is going to journey. We also know that they're going to make lots of mistakes. You made them in the past. You made them in the present. Chances are you're going to make them in the future. Okay? But when we're talking about perfect, we're not talking about void of mistakes. We're not talking about walking around being holier than thou. We're not talking about the halos that's floating around over our heads and saying, oh, we're so much better than you. No, that's not what we mean by perfect. What we mean by perfect is righteousness. Righteousness and sound reasoning. Righteousness. Righteousness means sound mind, sound reasoning, sound thought, sound judging. Okay? It doesn't mean perfection as if you don't have any flaws. Come on now. We all got flaws or we wouldn't be here. Okay? So the first fruit utilizes sound mind, sound reasoning, and they're leading with their heart chakra and love. And they're following the golden rule. And they want to see humanity free from this matrix system and all these demonic systems that is keeping us in control. They won't experience anything. They fought. They have fought for their freedoms and their right to exist. So, congratulations. Wave number 2, or group 2, hasn't quite gotten there yet. They might still be straddling the fence. They don't know whether or not to trust their governments or to trust crazy human women, you know, that's sitting, and men that's sitting around saying, hey, don't get vaccinated. Don't trust your government system. To them, we're just a bunch of conspiracy theorists. And that's how we're being treated too. If you stand up for something like your rights, your freedom, oh, you're going to get met with a lot of opposition. Okay? And it can get downright nasty. Comments can get downright rude, nasty, and venomous. But we don't allow that to affect us. The second wave is going to get a huge awakening. And this awakening is going to happen through laws and policies to be forced upon humanity. You'll cry out when your freedom of speech is taken away. You'll cry out when your livelihood is taken from you. You'll cry out when you're unable to travel or to move unless you get a vaccine. When you realize that you are no longer free, that's when that second group will start waking up. See, sometimes things gotta get very, very hairy and sketchy to open up somebody else's eyes. Sometimes a little voice in the wilderness is just not enough. So when those things start to take place, and they will, and they're already starting to take place, There's going to be a second group that's going to realize just how bad it is. They didn't fight with the first group, but they're going to fight now. And so this second group has the ability to shift too. It's just that their testing is going to be a little bit harder because it's designed to force you to wake up and to see. Okay? This is tough love. And that tough love comes from the second logos. Comes from the second logos, the judge, the controller of the fates. All right? Now, which is also influenced, I left this part out, by the collective consciousness. Okay? So, whatever we put our mind to and focus on hits that realm of the mental frequency and helps us shift the fates. All right? So you have to keep that in mind. And then you have the last logos. The last logos, he's the warrior. Okay? He's the warrior. And unfortunately, the last group of people are not going to make it. As sad as that sounds, it's a reality. And I'm only giving you this reality now so you can start to learn to let go. You're not going to be able to take everybody with you. So therefore, start learning to detach. Chances are you may have already been detached from them. Chances are these are the ones that are mocking you and calling you crazy and calling you a conspiracy theorist. So many of them are weeding themselves out of your life already. But I know, as a person with a big heart, that that's not a reality that you want to see. It's not. And nobody wants to lose loved ones. But you're going to find out very quickly that some of these loved ones have no issues losing you. There are news stories where they're turning their own family members in, murdering their own families. The love of many has waxed cold. You see it, but you don't experience it. I'm putting this out there to you because it's important for you to make a stance. It's important for you to fight, just like the first fruits. If you do not take a stand for what it is that you value the most, your humanity, your freedom, your creativity, your life, if you don't stand up and fight for it, someone else will soon control it. You're not going to be happy about that. And don't think just because it's happening there that it can't happen to you, because it can. If you made a soul pact to help us raise the vibration of this planet, I suggest you start doing it now. And stop paying attention to everything that is fed to you. Because source talks too. How did I know years and years ago that I was not supposed to stay in the big cities? I warned people of this too. Get out of the big cities. Because when crap hits the fan, it hits the big cities first. That's common sense. That's righteous thinking. Now, for those of you who have been strategically placed in these big cities, my heart, my prayer goes out to you, because I know you've got a hell of a fight. I like my quiet living. And I like my freedom. And I will defend it to the death. I suggest you do too. I love you all.